Hey produce people, we're live at Viva Fresh. I keep saying Dallas, Texas. We're right outside of Dallas, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Viva Fresh showcase today. We've got a couple gents here that are going to talk about the show, how it went. We got Paul Manfre to the left of me, the Red Pepper King. Paul, what's happening, buddy?
What's up? How's everybody?
Good, good. And then we've got Shay, the farm kid, Shay Myers. How we doing?
I'm great. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, we're all tired, man. And then last we got Ross, the produce bros.
What's up? Thanks, everybody.
All right, listen. We just did our first recap, just a month ago?
Yeah.
It's been a month. Has it been a month?
A month from SCPC.
We added Ross.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna get a little bit different perspective. This was definitely a different show. This is what I'm gonna say. Someone called me and said, "How is the show going for you?" I said, "It's a different culture here." Right? It's different than some of the other regional shows. So it's more or less, I would say, a regional show with an international presence.
Well,
right?
let me say this. I'm partial to Texas because now I live here.
He is.
So what I really like
Judge.
what I really like about this show, a lot of my business is Mexico-centric, USA, so I get to see a lot of the shippers, and also on the retail side, a lot of the regional retailers. You know, for example, H-E-B is here, and all the other locals. So the takeaways are what I like. As I said last time, SCPC and Viva Fresh are definitely top go-to shows. Okay, what I love about the show again is are the produce people. I love these are my people, right? I get to see all my friends again. One of the takeaways I would say for Viva Fresh, where I would give SCPC accolades over Viva Fresh, is the education. Let me back up. 3 years ago, I started going to the education part of these shows,
right?
And it's been transformational for me. I actually look forward to going to all the seminars. Now, I may not even like some of them, but I go in and I always pull out a piece of information that I like. So my recommendation for Viva Fresh is to kind of like follow the SCPC and have people. It could be easy. It could have a panel of wholesalers, a panel of retail, things that we've done together.
Yeah.
Right? That would be, I would say, to up your game, that would be my, my recommendation. As far as the show, the people that were here, the floor, outstanding, and I have nothing but accolades for them.
I second that, but I'm gonna pass it to Shay first.
Well, I think Ross had something because I heard him.
Oh,
I'll jump in
over
after.
there.
Yeah.
I did. I thought a lot of the events were very well attended. You know, you had 2 golf sessions. We did the morning one, the group that I was a part of, and very well attended, very enjoyable. The keynote luncheon was very good. You know, the speaker was motivational. I loved the Charlie Rocket story and all of that. You know, they talked about a lady there. I can't remember the lady's name, you know, but her family was there, but it would have been nice to have a little bit more of an information about, you know, why we were remembering her memorial and all of that. And then the show was good. I mean, it was packed. I mean, the floor was packed from opening to the end. Samples, food, you know, the food was pretty good here, and enjoyed the Tex-Mex flair.
Hold on. I have one thing to say. I was at booth 100 when I watched everybody came in. And listen, shout out to Dallas Fort Worth because y'all ran us in like cattle through this thing.
It was crazy numbers. I think this show has to be one of the ones that's consistently every single year where you can't hardly leave your booth. You have to spend all your time there. And I think that's a good problem, right? And I don't see, certainly the big shows, the international shows are not the same. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't good crowds. Maybe it's because it's over a couple of days. But the idea of putting it all in one place. The one thing that I would do, and we had this discussion yesterday, I wonder what you guys think, but we talked about skipping a Saturday. Like, we're already all missing work anyway. Like, could we do it so it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the show's on a Friday and you're out? Would that be beneficial? Certainly, it'd be nice to get home to the family on a Friday, or at least be able to, get out on a Saturday morning. I don't know if anybody likes that idea or not, but
I'll give a perspective about that just from the buy side of the community on that. And to get them here, a lot of less emails happen on Saturdays because, you've put POs together, you've done all your loads, you've done all that stuff. So to walk a show on a Saturday, in my shoes, you're not missing sales and you're not having to worry about checking your email constantly like you would on a Friday because there's less going on. We've given the suppliers the POs, any loading thing is going to be usually in the morning and then you move on and you reset on Monday. So from a buyer, perspective, Saturday, there's less you have to worry about having to be in communication with what's going on.
Right. Okay, and I guess as a shipper, right, I'm only worried about getting the stuff out. If you put the order in already, right, I guess that's why it's good to have this conversation. Right? I'm not always right as much as I want to be.
No, I mean it's true.
Everyone has their own perspective, right?
I mean, and that's it. I mean, that's why we're recapping the show, right? Because we're trying to get ideas, opportunities, talk about some of the challenges. I mean, I'm kind of the same as I talked about. I mean, SEPC is always the number one show for me. I never liked to go to shows back in the days. If you knew me before, I always sent other people in our offices because I was just not that guy, right? And now, since I started going back to shows in 2000, 18, 19, SEPC was that first show back, and it was welcoming, right? And the thing that got me was the education. I remember telling my partner at the time, I was like, I am gonna go to all education, and if I don't walk the trade show, so be it. And he was like, okay, that's a strategy, but I still got just as many business cards as I did in the education sessions, and then got to meet the guest speakers, Anne Marie, which we all know now, but I got to meet her before I became friends with her, right? And it was like, oh, hey, you did a great presentation. So the education was a must, and it's funny because I actually called Ross and was like, hey, what day is education? He's like, there is none. He's like, we're doing store tours Thursday. So that was what's great about it. I think what I like about coming to Texas is that we get to see a different mix of culture in the grocery stores. We went to HEB, we went to Central Markets, we went to Fiesta, and then we went to Tom Thumb. So it gave us a real big mix of what we can see versus myself being in Florida. I'm in Publix, right? And I try to talk to people about that and tell them, like, you don't understand. If you don't live in Florida, you don't get it. When I say I don't shop anywhere else but Publix, sorry, everyone. It's quarter mile down the street. Don't judge me. I don't care, okay? Because at this point, that's one of the things I love about coming to the different communities. I've been posting on LinkedIn. I did not even get to walk the show. I was at my booth pretty much the entire time, or as you saw on LinkedIn, doing more interviews, talking with people, understanding their businesses. And that's what I noticed what was going on a lot, is a lot of engagement of asking, hey, what do you do? Like to learn more about your business. That was one thing that you feel at some of the other shows. It's a different community, a family. I feel like there was a lot of new engagement happening. Like I said, asking people, what do you do? Oh, you're with this person. Awesome. What do they ship? Cucumbers, squash, right? All these different items. So I thought that was cool. One recommendation I would say is, these darn name tags, okay? I had to glasses on, glasses off, glasses on. It's like I couldn't read it, right, guys? Like, yeah.
Small?
I mean, look at this. Look, make the name huge. I mean, so we can say, hey, Paul, Shay, and so on. So overall, though, good community. Let's enhance it with learning. A friend of mine, it was funny. He went to Westpac Avocado for a training engagement. Man, you could have got 20, 30 people together and done that. Put them on a panel and put us all in the same room and have us teach us about avocado pressures, avocado measurements. And guess what? We probably all would have went together and did that.
One thing you mentioned about the stores in different areas, people don't realize the ethnic makeup of a neighborhood or a city drastically changes what supermarkets put on their shelves. So you may never ever see a rambutan right in Illinois, but you'll see it all over Texas, right?
Right.
One thing I always say about at every show, I judge a show 2 weeks after the show. I think I did great at this show. Absolutely wonderful. I
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah,
Good job.
but I always say, talk is cheap at a show. Let's see if we get the POs and we get to see them 2 weeks later. Everybody's going to say yes. I'll send you an email on Monday. I'll call you on Tuesday. But it's always 2 weeks later that you know how you really did. And I have to say, I get one customer, one shipper at a show, pays for the show. So that should entice everyone out there that doesn't visit these shows. Make the investment because you never know what's going to happen at one of these shows.
True.
The Marriott, in Houston, what's that going to change?
This is going to be a hard place to beat. I mean, this is going to be a hard place to beat. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to top this. I mean, it's going to be in Houston next year. I don't know how you top this place. Just like the Gaylord in Nashville. How do you top that? The SCPC Southern Innovations last year. How do you top a venue like that? Where you don't
everything
is in
together.
One place.
Yes.
You don't have to move. You see, where you socialize, where you do business, where you make connections is all in the same place. I just want to say, the people that are watching on Instagram, you're probably not hearing everything, but Patrick and Shay will post this later, and then I will give an updated feed.
No, I agree totally with your point, because this is only my second Viva, and the first one I went to was at the JW Marriott in San Antonio. And everything's there.
Right.
You have a captive audience. The golf was just a short distance from here. The opening reception was at the end of the parking lot. So you had a captive audience here. Houston, we're going to all be spread apart.
Yeah.
So are you going to see everybody walking through the atrium and
We
just
have a live.
This is an amazing venue.
yeah, just
Only two, but still
looking around. I mean, everyone's here. I'm fortunate enough to have a balcony to see, and it's like, hey, I see that person. In Houston, we're not going to have that. What hotel are you at? What hotel bar are you at? Instead of just going, I'm at the lobby bar. And so that's going to be the challenge. But to your point, I saw a lot of mangoes out in the stores. The demographic from being in the Midwest, more meat, potatoes, greens, a little bit of that stuff. Or here you had more dragon fruit, a lot more tropicals, emphasis banana leaves, which I got yelled at for not knowing at the first place.
I was screaming at you guys. Those are banana leaves.
Nepalis, all of that stuff, which is migrating more into the Midwest. We're seeing more of that, but it's a bigger emphasis here. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, true that. So one of the things that I also liked too was, compared to other shows, was the giveaways. A lot of booths do a lot of cool giveaways here. There was even
Especially the margarita.
Right, sampling was another one. But that also is on the venue. We all know this, because certain venues only allow certain food products, right? Or even juice products to be served. Right. I've learned that through Citrus America. I've learned that through Freshway, right?
But because they did a luncheon here, a couple of vendors that I talked to didn't do any sampling because they didn't want to compete with the luncheon, knowing that people were going to be fed.
The lunch yesterday, because nobody said anything.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
Yeah, no, but the lunch, the lunch?
Oh, the fish and the lobster rice and
the beet dessert.
And the beet dessert.
That took the meal.
It did, but let's go back to let's go back to it though. I saw a cowboy hat that was able to be given away. I saw a guy measuring someone for boots. Yeah, coolers. I think it's cool that when you interact with people, you kind of start talking to them, even if it's about the prize. It's still learning about their business for a few minutes too, right? And thinking about it. And I'll be real, it's crazy. So we had a contest that we gave away at our booth, and Ross won it. But here's the crazy thing: he won it because most of you people didn't even sign up for it. No one did. There was 4 people that signed up. I think 2 people worked for us. Come on, everybody. So Ross actually won the all expenses paid trip to the Dominican Republic. He's gonna hike 30 miles with us to the tallest mountain in the Caribbean. How do you feel about that, Ross?
Well, I feel pretty honored. It was some effort going through to enter, so that was quite the process, but I knew I had to do the effort to be able to have a chance to win, so it's going to be a good time exploring. I'm excited to be able to go to the Dominican for the first time and have this experience. So looking forward to November.
All right, as we start to close this out, I always ask, what we're looking forward to. It's April 1st, 2023.
Nobody played any jokes on us today.
Thank good. No, hey, listen, my life's a joke, okay? Let's just be real. As we're sitting here, Paul, what are you looking forward to as we're approaching, spring and summer?
Well, our next show is the West Coast Produce Show. I love that. That's number 3 on my list. That's
CPMA for me.
all right, CPMA for it. But the West Coast Produce Show is another great show. California shippers, and springtime is always the best time for me in the produce business. We have a lot of new items coming to the market. A lot of United States starts waking up. All the growing areas start producing. We start from the south. We go into peach season. Melons, cantaloupes, watermelons, cherries. Those are all big ticket, big ring produce items, and always look forward to April, May, and June in the produce business is outstanding.
Me? Okay. So for me, there's a love and a hate that happens this time of year because we finish up at home with onions, and then we start our summer program, which means we'll have onions in Arizona, Texas, Southern California, and even Georgia this year. But the summer program it's just challenging because it's based on the fields. It's based on what's available at the moment, and us storage crop guys are used to having a building full of onions that we can just sell from. So it's totally different. So that's kind of the hate side, but we start our asparagus season within the next couple of weeks, and asparagus is a really fun commodity to sell. It's one of the few, it's one of the earliest, and especially in the northern latitudes, it's one of the earliest vegetables. People get excited by it, it gets promoted, and it's easy to sell, unlike onions sometimes. So I'm looking forward to that one. And then watermelons for us will start midsummer, but that's far enough away I'm not even thinking about it.
So I'm going to go twofold here. I'm going to go business first. Being in this business for so long, it's exciting to be able to build all the displays of the seasonal fruit coming out, peaches, and everything that Paul mentioned. That's when it gets really fun in the produce department because you can do so much with color, impactful displays, talking to the customers that are coming in. You've got new things coming out almost every week that you're just changing the department around and getting to go. And then from the distribution side, we get more packages. A lot more things are flown on the truck. You've got asparagus, you've got regional stuff. So, on the buyer side, you got to start paying more attention to the USA, where are things coming from, where do opportunities lie. On a personal side of things, I do love all the tastes of summer, everything. And then farmers markets, being able to go to farmers markets and see what's going on locally, what little things are going on in our neighborhood, in our community. How can we support those farmers and continue to give back? Because without farmers, we wouldn't have food. So whether they're global farmers or community farmers, they're still a farmer.
Bring us home.
Shay didn't realize I had a joke lined up for his love-hate. He's pissed that summer's coming because gas prices are going up for his plane.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
But he loves to fly.
Hey, but he does good videos from his plane.
He does. Mark my words, I will be in his plane, not driving.
Never?
What?
After
I will
that?
be
All right,
in the
all right.
plane. I will not be filling up the gas. All right. So, what I'm looking most forward to, I would say, guys, is I want to try and get out more like to the U-Picks. One thing that, living in Florida, we get to experience a lot more local farms as well because we don't have snow, right? We don't do those things. And the last 4 years I've lived there, we have missed them. Like, we're like, oh, let's go do it this weekend, right? And we're like, yeah, we'll go on day 3, right? Oh, day 2. No, you realize you got to go on day 1.
There's
No,
nothing left, or
there's
what?
nothing left. They go through it. So one thing I look forward to as we get through the spring and the summer is spend some time obviously with the family doing some U-Picks. For oranges, we slow down a little bit as it comes to the summertime, so it helps me out being able to find more local farms. And then I'm actually looking forward to imports this year, right? As the weather and the climate and everything has been so impactful on the United States this year. Our quality has seen it, right? All around the board has seen it. Supply has seen it. So again, always looking for an experience, and that's one thing I always look forward to. So looking forward to, some of the products that are going to be coming in from offshore that we're going to be able to experience this year until obviously next season when some of our crops are repaired. Heck, from Hurricane Ian in Florida, from the rains in Florida, the snow, everything. So, and as we close it out, like I said, we're always about community, opportunity, talking about the challenges, and you cannot spell challenge without spelling change within that. So we're here to accept the change, accept the challenge, build opportunity, and grow together. So thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.